Hi, this is Group C10 with Bingwu, Weimingpu, and Zhixuansheng. Today we will show consulting realization case based on the Airbnb database. In this case, we represent our company called Cars Consulting Company in Beijing, and our target customer is Family Here Company, which is a housing renting operation agency. Basically, our customer helps landlords who don't have time to manage their house properties to rent their house or do maintenance. For example, they may have a house in Beijing, but they work or live in another place. Our customer wants us to help them find strategies in increasing revenue and find potential in operation promotion. We know that their major revenue comes from 60% of landlords' rents. We did 3 analyses based on our client's demand, and I will begin with the renting price and district analysis first. This is a map of Beijing with different districts. In our analysis, since each district in Beijing have different functions, we analyze them based on each districts. We separate these districts into 2 groups, urban areas and suburban areas. Hope this map can give you guys a general idea of what Beijing looks like and how do these districts locate. The orange and yellow parts are what we define them as urban areas, also includes parts of the Daxing and Tongzhou districts. The other are all defined as suburban areas. Since our customer gets revenues through the landlord's rent, I want to firstly have a general idea of how pricing in these 16 districts looks like, with 3 different room types. In order to clearly see the distribution, I choose blocks plot and I get this graph. This graph doesn't show the distribution clearly, since there are some outliers with extremely high price per night, such as one in Miyun district. It's 100,000 RMB, which is equal to 10,000 pounds per night. I find that a situation exists that nobody ever come to live in such house, or the landlords already stopped renting but don't delete information. So I add a limit that numbers of review need to be larger than 0 and only house actually rented before shows, which make the price more reasonable. Also, I checked that 90% of the listings are less than 2,000 RMB, thus I set the highest limit, which is 2,000 RMB, to see a more general situation. After some adjustments, I get this interesting graph. Generally, the prices in our districts follow a trend. The entire home is higher than private room and shared room. Also, since our customer helps landlords who don't have time to manage their house property to rent, we decided to mainly focus on entire home. For urban area, the average price is about 500 RMB per night, which is a relatively high price compared with other cities in Beijing and also in China. Also, due to the large population in Beijing, we need to keep collecting houses from urban areas and find more economic price houses for renters like white-tie workers. For suburban areas, it is surprised that prices in suburban areas even beyond urban areas, and this high price can give more profit for our client. Recently, customers' preference changes quickly. Not only tourists but also local, they try to spend their time in suburban areas to relax and enjoy great environment. That can be a great opportunity for our client to develop their future service in this area. Next, Bing will talk more about prices.
Thanks, Wei Ming. Having gone through the relationship between renting price, room types, and locations, now we want to find the detailed relationship between price and the specific characteristic of a house. Here we choose accommodates because this is an important factor, which is related to the size and types of the houses, as well as the number of bedrooms. First, we plot several bar charts, and the shown chart is one of them. We notice that bar charts are useful to represent the exact average price, but they are not concise and straightforward for us to observe the price trend. So we decide to use line graphs to show the price trend with accommodates for different room types and in different districts. As can be seen, the average renting price shows an increasing trend as accommodates increases. But we can also notice that there are some abnormal trends, such as the extremely high price of shared room in Chaoyang and Tongzhou, which is conflicting with our common sense. So we decide to remove the unreasonable renting price to further explore the relationship. Here we assume the houses with a reasonable price have non-zero value in house acceptance rate. So we can use this variable as a standard to select the house with reasonable price. Having removed the observations with non-zero house acceptance rate, we finally get the line graph. Overall, the average price increases with the increase of accommodates for each type of room. Besides, the entire apartment and private rooms, especially in city center, such as Dongcheng and Xicheng, have a steeper slope when accommodates are greater than 8. Therefore, we can take advantage of this trend and charge a higher commission rate for the bigger houses accommodating 8 more people, because this is a way to increase the company's revenue. Now I will pass to Zhishuan.
Thanks, Bing. After analysis about price, please allow me to introduce review score and service analysis. From the listing data, each host have 3.3 listings on average, so we assume hosts with over 5 listings are potential agency. So in total, 15% of hosts are potential agencies. And then we plot the average review scores for personal host and the potential agency. And we choose violin plot because it can show the distribution of whole data, where the width equal to the frequency of host with certain review score. Only few hosts have review scores less than 60. Also, to better observe the distribution for most hosts, we set a limit on y-axis, 60 to 100. Therefore, our key findings become most of the hosts have high review scores ranging from 80 to 100. And focusing on the difference between the potential agencies and personal hosts, we can find that potential agencies' average score are relatively low, but still fall into a fair range, and the patterns are similar for all districts. The current agencies may not be able to provide service as carefully as the personal hosts, who are the real house owners. The review scores could be higher by improving service, and higher review scores could increase the attractiveness of the listing. So we suggest our client to offer refined operation service. To sum up, we suggest number 1, focusing more on suburban areas, but also keeping business in urban areas to satisfy different market segments. Number 2, adjusting the proportion of commission according to different house types to increase our profit. Number 3, improve its service to increase listings attractiveness. As an agency specialized in Airbnb renting in Beijing, we have to find our proper market position and our core competence to offer the best service and the highest quality. Thank you so much for listening. We're so glad to work with you and looking forward to further cooperation. If you have any questions, please contact us. Thank you.